Today we are doing something we are so excited about. We are going behind the scenes to see how cheese is made.
When you think of Wisconsin, one of the first things you likely think of is cheese. 90% of Wisconsin's milk is made into cheese, and there are 1,200 licensed cheesemakers in Wisconsin who make over 600 varieties of cheese, more than 2 times of any other state.
When planning our time here in Wisconsin, we came across a family-run cheese factory called Union Star Cheese in Fremont, Wisconsin. In the early 1900s, Henry Metzig, a farmer at the time, decided to start a cheese-making co-op with other farmers after their milk was deemed low-fat and therefore less valuable. And in 1911, Henry bought out the other farmers and started Union Star Cheese. The business continued to be a family affair, and Edna, Henry's daughter, was actually one of the first women to become a licensed cheesemaker and work in a factory setting.
Union Star offers tours 5 days a week at their factory, but after reading more about their process, we found out that they start making the cheese at 4 a.m. every day and had a crazy idea. What if they let us join them early in the morning and watch the process from start to finish? So we reached out to Union Star with our crazy idea, and they surprisingly said yes. It's 3:15 a.m. and we're about to head to Union Star Cheese. We have no idea what to expect for today, but we are beyond excited and grateful to get to have this experience.
They make a variety of different cheeses, and today is Mozzarella String Cheese Day. Right now they are pasteurizing the milk, which takes about 2 hours to fill up the big vat here, and then the other guys are just getting other things ready for the rest of the cheese making process. Union Star Cheese uses 10,500 pounds of milk a day to make cheese. By comparison, the largest factory in Wisconsin does 3 million pounds per day. After the milk pasteurizes, it goes into a vat where they add good bacteria and also an enzyme called rennet, which will help the milk gel. While we waited for the milk to fill up the vat, we learned a little bit about why Wisconsin is known for cheese and how to become a cheesemaker.
A lot of the quality of the cheese depends on the milk that you get.
Yeah.
And here, what we feed the cattle in Wisconsin is really good for making good cheese. Mm-hmm. Other states, not so much.
Okay.
So most other states, their milk is going to go for either butter or milk, not necessarily good cheese. And if it does go for cheese, it's going to be something like processed cheese where it doesn't matter the quality of the milk. In Wisconsin, it's one of the only states, or it might be the only state where you have to have your license to make cheese. They want to hold us to a higher standard. I worked with John for basically about a year, and then he sent me, there's a short course down in Madison. It's a 3-day course, and they go through a bunch of stuff about cheese making, and then once you're done with that, you can take the test. The state will come to your facility, and then the inspector will give you the test. It's just a paper test. You would think.
They just have to watch you do it, I guess?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, essentially. He sat right across the table from me.
Oh my gosh, no pressure.
If you want your master cheesemaker license, you have to be a full-time licensed cheesemaker for 10 years.
We were chatting with Orrin, one of the cheesemakers here, and he was telling us how they're one of the smallest operations in Wisconsin. A lot of places do everything kind of automatically with machines, but they do so much by hand here, which is kind of why we picked this place out of all of the cheese factories in Wisconsin. We just thought it felt more family-run and homey, not like a big tourist attraction. We've mostly just been watching the milk stir around, which has been very mesmerizing, but I think the good stuff is coming soon. After the vat fills, they stop stirring the milk so the rennet can set and the milk can gel up, giving it a yogurt-like consistency. Once the milk is the right consistency, they cut the gel to start to separate the whey and curds and then cook it longer.
For mozzarella, we cook up to 106 degrees over 45 minutes. And what we're trying to do is try to firm up the curds and dry them down a little bit. This cooking stage helps determine our moisture level. So if you want a dry hard cheese like Parmesan, you cut really small, like rice size, and you cook to higher temperature to make it a drier, denser cheese. If you want a soft cheese like Brie, you cut really big curds and you gently stir them and then you pour them in the molds. He is pushing back the curds because you want the curds are spread out through the whole vat, so the goal is to get it in 2 long rows underneath the whey. And then we're going to pump off the whey.
Okay.
And so milk is roughly 90% water, so it takes 10 pounds of milk to make 1 pound of cheese.
After the whey drains, the action begins. They start cutting the curds into slabs and then start stacking them onto each other in a process called matting, which builds the body of the cheese. As they continue stacking them, these slabs get thinner and longer.
This is really cool to see.
It's crazy to see how fast just a little nugget, little curds of cheese, and now they're blocks that you can just pick up in one hand. That's what that happened within like a matter of minutes, couple minutes.
The slabs then get put into a chopping machine, which chops them up into curds.
The morning started out so slow, and now it has gotten intense. A lot of work going on now.
A lot of work. They put the curds into hot water where they start to melt and form a large ball of mozzarella. This ball is then put into a machine which turns the ball into string cheese. The strings are cut and then put into a brine for 12 minutes before our favorite part, being ready to eat. We just got some fresh mozzarella string cheese to try.
Yes.
This looks significantly better than the stuff that I grew up eating that you buy at the grocery store. But it's strings just like you'd expect. Fred said I'd wonder what the heck was I eating before. 1000%. It is so moist. It's kind of juicy, which might sound weird, but $60. It tastes exactly how you would want fresh mozzarella to taste. It has a little bit of saltiness to it.
It does not get any fresher than this. I'm one of those weirdos that just eats it like that, I don't feel it. That tastes way different than the stuff you buy at the store. The freshness that you taste within the first hour or two that Fred was telling us about, on the outside it's a little harder, on the inside it's a little more mushy. You only get that within the first couple hours. It tasted so good. I'm gonna try the extra sharp cheddar. This is aged. It's in that room right there for 2 years. Oh man.
Nice floral starting. It's going to get bright and then it's going to get fruity. You're going to have some of those crystals come out and then it's going to kind of cheddar at the end. But you're not going to get that bitter that you're used to getting from the store.
It's just so different. It has like, it just melts so easier in your mouth and just coats your mouth, and hearty and rich. After trying some cheese, we joined the free tour they offer to learn even more about the cheese making process and other types of cheeses.
A couple cheeses we do not make, and that is the Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese is made with a gas enzyme. They put it in a warming room to cure versus a cooling room like this. The gases perform and makes the eyes pop. The difference between baby Swiss and regular Swiss is baby Swiss is made with whole milk, regular Swiss is made with hard skim.
We just got done watching them make cheese and going through the tour that they give, and the whole experience was just so fun, informational, educational, and we just gained a greater appreciation for not just the process of making cheese, but experiencing a place like this that is family run, it's very small, and just seeing the hard work that they put into it, and it's handmade stuff. So a lot of bigger places maybe use a lot more automated machines, and that's fine, there's a place for that, but you get a greater appreciation for the love and passion that go into it.
It kind of feels like we stepped back in time to see how people made cheese many, many years ago, and they haven't strayed from that. It just had this authenticity that I don't know if we could have found elsewhere, and it was just an incredible experience. A big thank you to Union Star Cheese for letting us get here at 4 a.m. to watch you and creep on you all morning. You don't have to get here at 4 a.m. though. They do offer tours 5 days a week, I believe at 8:30 a.m. and they'll just walk you through the entire process. You won't get to see it all, but they'll tell you all about it, and it was super educational. We did join that tour as well, and we learned things that we didn't know about this morning. One of the foods that Wisconsin is most famous for are cheese curds, and they weren't making cheese curds today. They were making mozzarella string cheese, but we picked up a bag of cheese curds that they made yesterday. We were told to let them get to room temperature, so we'll enjoy those very, very, very soon, as well as cheese curds in a different form.
We headed about 30 minutes to the town of Oshkosh to have a cheese curd extravaganza. So we have our fresh cheese curds from Union Star Cheese that we were at this morning. And then we grabbed some of these fried cheese curds from a place called Pete's Garage Bar. And the description on the menu of these is it's a ton of cheese curds.
They are not lying.
That is a boatload.
So fresh cheese curds are also called squeaky cheese curds because if you eat them at the right time and they're fresh enough and made correctly, they will squeak when you bite into them. And we asked John earlier at Union Star Cheese what makes it squeak, and this is what he told us.
A few things. One is the moisture in the cheese, and then we dry salt the curds. So you have the salt on the outside working in, so you have the pressure differential, and that'll make it squeak. The other thing is the lactic acid is a little sticky, the cheese, and so it sticks to your teeth as you're biting.
Oh, interesting.
Our curds that we have on the shelf are from yesterday, so if you warm them up, they'll squeak again. Obviously, they're not the same as fresh, but by day 3, 4, they'll lose the squeak altogether.
Okay. We let them sit out for a bit, and they're feeling a bit more room temperature, so we're hoping that they squeak, especially since they were made yesterday, not today, but John said they should, so we'll see what happens. I don't know why I'm nervous.
Like I heard it.
Yeah.
Is it every bite?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what I thought squeaky meant. Like, I didn't know what to expect when they say they squeak, but they totally squeak. That's hilarious. I don't know why I find that so funny. The cheese is super good. It has this, I don't know, bouncy kind of texture to it, and then it just squeaks in your mouth and it tastes like cheese. It is delicious. I'm so happy it squeaked. That was an experience.
Oh, wow. Taste fresh, but the squeakiness is the funnest part. It's literally every bite it squeaks. It's just like squeaking against your teeth.
Bouncing in your mouth or something. The fresh cheese curds were amazing, but I don't know if you can ever beat fried anything. These look so good. They have a nice little kind of crispiness on the outside, but they're really soft, or kind of pillowy, like Adam likes to say. These taste kind of like just mozzarella sticks, sort of. They're so good, but like little baby mozzarella stick bites. They are still so hot, and they have a nice crunch on the outside, but they're just gooey, cheesy on the inside. They're not like melted cheese necessarily, but you can see it's kind of like it pulls apart.
Nice. These are really tasty, have a nice little salt to them and a little crunch on the outside. It's gonna be good with, we think that's ranch. And if we make an attempt at this, if we finish this whole thing, I think we're gonna have some problems.
So we've eaten about 2/3 of the fried cheese curds. These are addicting little golden fried nuggets of cheesy joy. And we can't stop eating them, but we're kind of starting to feel a little sick. So let the cheese coma commence.